Hey guys, what is going on? Just wanted to bring you a little tutorial on cleaning your oiled air filters. I have let mine go pretty long, and as you can tell, they're just absolutely filthy. So honestly, they're really easy to do. In my case, if any of you guys have the AFE kit for your F-150, your EcoBoost, your 2.7 or your 3.5, all it is to take these puppies out is just two hose clamps, which is an 8mm socket, or if you choose, you can use your flat head there. Super simple to take out, and we'll go over some of the cleaning steps shortly. All right, so once you have these two hose clamps loosened, all you do is slide them up. And just like that, your filters are free. Just pull them through, and that's it. In my case, I got two filters, so we do this twice. And that is it. Your filters are out and ready to be cleaned. In today's case, we'll be using the K&N Recharger Kit. I'm going to guess this is pretty new with the spray oil. I haven't really seen this before. I'm kind of used to the liquid oil that you just apply to the grooves here. So we're going to give this kit a try and see how we like it. All right, guys. So the first step of actually getting this cleaned out is to get all the hard debris out of it. So like here we got some dead bugs, just some leaves, just some crud we don't want in there. It makes it a lot easier during the cleaning process. So what I do, I just grab it by the rubber and just give it a nice couple taps in the trash can just to get the hard stuff out. Some people might tell you, so like this little bug didn't come out, but so he's gone. But some people might like to tell you, take a little pick or like a flathead or a Phillips head screwdriver and just go along the grooves and try to get the stuff out that way. Do not do that. The last thing you want to do is poke a hole in the $50 filter. And since we got two of them here, we really don't want to do that. So I always say this method is best because you're going to avoid damaging anything. And it's a lot easier. All right, guys. Next up, we're going to take a nice liberal coating of the cleaner and degreaser right into the filter media. Get everywhere because this is a degreaser. It'll clean up all the black plastics and rubber. So don't be shy. It's pretty hard to put too much of this on because in about 15-20 minutes, we're just going to be washing it all off. Again, don't be shy. Go ham. Go cheap. Well, don't go too cheap. Right, get it all in there. All right, guys. Both the filters are heavily coated with the degreaser. We're going to give it 15 minutes to soak in and do its job, and we'll check back in with you in the next step in about 15 minutes, all right? All right, guys. Our 15 minutes is up, and now we're going to wash out all the degreaser. I'm choosing to do mine in a slop sink because I have the capabilities to do so. Some of you guys might be restricted to a garden hose. Just remember, no pressure water. This is important because whatever other particles are in here, you don't want to force it into the filter media. Also, you don't want to have the filter media rip from that high pressure water. All right, so just a nice warm water and just rinse from the inside out. Look at all that crud coming out. Oh my goodness. Woo-hoo-hoo. Look at that. Yeah, you don't want that in your filter. Look at that. Rinse off the outside real quick. And then back to the inside. Push whatever got pushed in, back out. Look at that. You can even see from the inside out. Crazy. And just keep going at this until the water comes out clear from the filter. So we're starting to get the clear. Look at that. Nice and clean. Here's a bottoms are clean, tops are dirty. Look at that. That's freaking insane. Our water's mostly clear. The water out of this tap is usually a little bit murky just because I don't use it ever. So just keep that in mind. That's why it's still murky. But yeah, all right. I'm gonna take care of the second one off camera, and we'll get on to the next step. All right, guys. This next step is probably one of the most critical steps in this entire process, and that is letting these dry naturally. Do not use compressed air. Do not use a leaf blower. Do not use a blow dryer. Don't do nothing. Put them on a rack, a shelf, somewhere where it can get easy ventilation, and just let it dry by itself. Because remember, compressed air is very powerful. And even if you use like a blow dryer or a leaf blower, if anything gets pushed through that leaf blower or hair dryer, it could, in theory, puncture this filter, which again, you don't want to do. You don't want to ruin these filters, or any filter for that matter. So let them dry, leave them alone. And I actually honestly don't remember how long these take off the top of my head, but I will check back in with you and tell you exactly how long it took for these two filters to dry. All right, guys, we're going to call this mostly dry. I gave it about hour and a half, hour, 45 minutes down in my laundry room. So the next step, pretty much the final step at this point, is just to oil it. So K&N's doing the spray oil now, as I mentioned earlier. Let's give it a nice little shake, and look at that. This nice light coating. Give it a little rotation. And just make all the gray red. And once you're done applying your coat, you're going to let it sit for about 20 minutes to let the oil wick into the fibers, to the filter media. All right, you guys can see it changing colors there. And now this should be the final rotation. Yep. So this filter is now, it's kind of hard to tell on camera, but it's completely red. So let it wick for 20 minutes. And if we missed any spots, we can go back and touch it up and let it sit for another 20 minutes. Here we have the end result, looking nice and red. I gave them a pretty thorough look over. I didn't see the need to apply a second coat. So the only thing to do from here on is just throw these filters back on the intake tubes. Just as such, a little bit of a pain with this. But as such, come on. One. Numero dos. All right, well, I'll play around with this off camera. It's a little tricky with one oily hand, but I'll get this buttoned up, close out with you guys, and we'll be done. And that is it, guys, on cleaning and oiling your reusable air filter systems. Super easy job. It is quite of a time-consuming process just because you got to wait for the filters to dry, and then you got to oil them and let the filters soak up the oil. But other than that, it's not hard. It's for most cars and most systems, especially when you get to these EcoBoosts, it's just two simple hose clamps. Like, if you can't do this, then you shouldn't be touching anything else in your car. But other than that, guys, this is it. Easy job, done in probably, I want to say, a couple hours. But yeah, if you guys are interested on seeing what it took for us to get this F-150 to about 500 horsepower, it's 470 on pump gas and about 525-ish on E50. If you're interested in seeing how we got to those numbers, just drop a comment, let me know, and I'll make a video with the with all the mods in this truck.